Welcome to the words of the day for May 8th, day 53. Here we go. First word, figurative. It's an adjective. It means not literal or metaphorical. Now, we talk about figurative language, and that's actually what we're going to talk about for our writing today. But figurative means just, it's not real. Like, we did the word logical earlier. It's kind of the opposite of that. I feel like an icicle. Okay? That's not literal. I don't actually feel like an icicle. I don't even know what an icicle would feel like if it were alive, right? We can't know what an icicle would feel like because it's not alive. Because icicles don't have feelings. Now, an icicle is cold, and that's what I mean. So, okay, skim. Now, skim means to remove from the surface, usually from a liquid. So, oftentimes you will hear it used in the terms of money, where someone takes a little bit of money off of a big amount and they call it skimming. But if you have a big pond or a lake or something and you take a bunch of stuff from the surface, use a net to like get a bunch of junk off the top, that would be skimming the water. So, correspond, to have a close similarity or to match or agree almost exactly. You could say that my tie does not quite correspond with my shirt, but my tie does correspond with my pants. Maybe, I don't know. But correspond is how things relate, okay? I can correspond with many of my students because I often feel like I act like a child. Yeah, okay. So, now, for today's writing, here's what we're going to do. We've done a few writing prompts. We've got a little bit of a story going in the creative writing corner. I would still like you to add something. Please try and keep with the story. Try and add a couple sentences. Use capitals, periods, stuff like that. Anybody can go in. Guys, just try. Please do it. You should do it. But I want you to use some figurative language. And we talked about a few different types of figurative languages here. Metaphors and similes are ones we're going to talk about briefly. And I'm just going to give you a refresher because, well, we've been at home for almost 2 months. So, now, a metaphor is when you compare something to something else. So, for example, I mean, that's not the best definition, but really, for metaphors, it's all about examples because I think that gives us the best idea. And if you remember, I always usually start out with, your room is a pigsty, okay? Or your room is a garbage dump. Now, if I were to use the logical definition, then people would actually take garbage, bring it to your room, and dump it there because it's a garbage dump, right? That's the logical conclusion to that statement. However, figurative language pretty much means that your room's a mess and you should probably clean it up. Is your room a mess? Yeah, some of you just nodded. So, uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I haven't sneezed on camera yet. I'm gonna make it, guys. Okay, so metaphor is when you compare something to something else, and if you try and make it make logical sense, it doesn't work. So, now the next one that we see a lot of are similes, and that's like a metaphor, but using like or as. The ground was as slick as ice. I was as cold as an ice cube. Stuff like that. So, what I want you to do is in the creative writing corner, somebody just posted in the creative writing corner. I saw that. Hold on. Who was it? Oh, it was Beatrice. That's not part of the story. Happy birthday, Beatrice. Okay, but Beatrice was going to write something in the creative writing corner, and it might have had a simile. So, use similes, use metaphors, and have a good weekend, guys. See you.